Numbers are rolling. Here we are. All right, Internet. Welcome to the Magic Our Way podcast. We're here live right here on YouTube, as well as we're live in your ear holes every Wednesday. So you're going to hear this show coming up very, very soon. But we're here to talk about the San Diego Comic-Con 2022 announcements related to Disney/Marvel, of which there was a lot, guys. I don't know about you guys, but it felt like Marvel just kind of unzipped their pants, dropped trowel, and let it unfurl upon everybody in Hall H. They dropped it all.
Yes.
All of it. I mean, no shame either. They just went pop.
You gotta have the link. You gotta know where things are going.
They had length and girth, I thought.
I think they just finally realized, wait a minute, we have not given anybody anything to stay tuned in.
Yeah.
So they decided, okay, we'll give them, because really, I mean, everything else we already knew about for the most part. Were there any surprises outside of the last two movies they named?
No, I mean we had previews of. We can't say all the stuff.
Well, yeah, we'll go through them one by one.
Yeah, but we knew the last two were coming for the Phase 4 that was coming, and then going to Phase 5, we knew of a few of the titles that were already going to exist, but
some are surprises to me. I know that.
Yeah,
and that's what we're gonna go through for sure. A lot of that Hall H announcements that took place on Saturday, plus a couple of things that took place on Sunday. So we're just gonna have a free-form discussion about this. Feel free to throw in any comments for anybody that's in there. But anyway, just to start off real quick, I think because D23 is also this year, a lot of Disney park stuff, a lot of Disney-centric stuff is going to be showcased there. So join back with us in about a month and a half or so in September when D23 happens. And hopefully we'll be talking about some advancements in the parks and the Disney movie universe. Who knows? But one thing that was announced at San Diego Comic-Con real quick was just National Treasure: Edge of History, which is the Disney Plus series that's a spin-off of the National Treasure thing. You know, this is great. I'm looking forward to it. My family loves the two movies that came out with Nicolas Cage. They were a little sad that Nick Cage wasn't in there, but it's okay. It's a spinoff.
Oh, man.
I'm looking forward to see what they're doing with it.
Yeah, I didn't watch it for Nick Cage. I watched it for the premise, the theme, the story that was coming about. I love that kind of stuff, man. It's like the Da Vinci Code meets history.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Da Vinci Code had to do with history. American history. It's like the Da Vinci Code.
That's right.
American history.
American. All that American in there.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it didn't fully wet my whistle because I want to see more, but I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. But after that, quickly we transitioned right into Marvel, man. Marvel, San Diego Comic-Con, Marvel, this was their show.
This is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, so this is all them. And, you know, just start with a couple of smaller announcements. They talked about Marvel's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur gets a first look. What is that? Well, I've never heard of these people, Eli.
I mean, that's let's see, there was it? I think it used to be way back in the day. Like Kirk might can throw it at me different, but Devil Dinosaur is a character, but I think Moon Girl is like a new twist. So that's like that's in the comics. It's like a real cutesy kind of thing. It's gonna be animated.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll definitely check that out for sure.
I don't know how that works though with a girl and a dinosaur.
Is it like a Peach Dragon kind of thing where Moon Girl finds Devil Dinosaur and they become unlikely friends and allies and
in the savage land?
Well, that's a good question. Did they ever exist together in the same comic universe, or is this something new?
Who's that?
I mean,
Devil Dinosaur?
Yeah.
They was together. They had their. I don't know if it's still ongoing, but they had their own series.
Yeah, they had a series.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Recently.
I'm not big.
This pairing is nothing new. It's been there all along.
Now they're just putting it in animated form, is what you're saying.
Right.
Okay. Because I mean, right off of this website Complex, they're saying this is Marvel's first black teenage superhero, Lunella Lafayette, which I guess is how they're going to.
Is she from here?
Wait a minute.
I don't know.
I don't know about that. I mean, what about Miles Morales? Go ahead though. Well,
I don't know. This is what I'm reading off the website, so I don't know if it's true.
Female.
First, yeah.
Although you said teenage.
Well, it said first black teenage superhero.
I know.
Yeah. That's what the wording is. I know.
That's okay. Well, that's.
Every time we start talking about teenagers, somebody got to bring Miles Morales out their ass.
You're the very one now.
Can't forget Miles, man.
I mean, technically, you go with Static, but he's not in the MCU. So I'm just saying that's day one. That's day one.
Interesting, yeah. So I'm looking forward to checking that out. And Plus, we got an announcement about X-Men 97.
I'm curious about that one.
What, tell me about what's X-Men 97? I don't quite understand this.
So
why is it 97? Like, why are they saying that?
So the old school, like we just had Steve Blue to do the intro. He was the voice of Wolverine. So like back when we were young, and in the 90s, we won't divulge our age. There was an X-Men cartoon. So this is supposed to pick up where that cartoon left off. Yeah.
So I got to go back, and hopefully it's on D Plus and watch it all. And then
yes, it is.
Yeah,
is it D Plus? Oh well.
Yeah. So you get Gambit, Cyclops.
What?
You should Beast. Jubilee. Like that old school.
They showed a promo of all the characters in it, and it's all the old school characters.
Ooh.
Beast, Rogue, Gambit, Cyclops, Jean Grey. This time Magneto is going to be the leader of the team.
Really?
Remember when Magneto took control of the X-Men back in the 80s? When he had that purple suit with the big M on it?
Yes. That's
the version of him.
That's that old school.
But they're all going to be in the same 90s costumes. Rose will be in that skin suit, whatever you want to call it, tight skin suit.
Yes.
Gambit got his throwing cards, his trench coat, his staff.
That's who I want Gambit up in the MCU, man. I want to see that come to fruition.
That was really a fun, like that's one of those things like back in the day when they made a cartoon of that, you're like, oh man, that's a comic, translated to cartoon. And because they stuck to it. They didn't really try to deviate to nothing weird. And the 90s, that was my time, man. I'm welling up a tear just thinking about it.
Oh, well, I'm going to definitely check that out and try to catch up before it gets released.
Hopefully they do it justice.
I hope so. I guaranteed stay subscribed to us, guys. We'll definitely talk about it. And also, I know we talked about it as one of the characters you can't stand, Eli, but we also got I Am Groot coming out.
I am that
one. Yeah. Original shorts that'll follow Baby Groot's days growing up.
That's not right. You know what I mean? Like, it's just all right. I got nothing else to say.
Yeah, no.
I mean, that's just wrong to do that. It's a whole Groot. Let's give him older Groot.
Yeah, well, they did what they could with him, and now it's like, okay, we got nothing else to write for him. Make him baby.
Yeah, make him baby.
Make him baby.
Make him baby.
Oh, baby.
Oh, man.
See Groot puberty.
You already saw that.
Yeah, the second guy.
Yeah, where he was cursing.
Guardians.
Yeah, when it was sap everywhere. Ooh.
Yeah, it was sticky.
Yes.
Played the game all the time.
Threads of sap everywhere.
Well, slap the wood off that boy.
Sinewy. It's gross.
But
yeah. So, yeah, that was most of the stuff before Saturday. And then Saturday rolled around, and that's where we got the unfurl.
Hey, can I ask y'all a question?
Yeah.
So if you had to watch this is a 5.
Hey, word that again so I can edit it real quick. Yeah.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Aren't we live?
Oh, yeah, we're live. I forgot. Oh, crap. Fourth wall.
Like, how you go?
You guys didn't hear that. All right, try again.
Stop time.
Oh, wait. Live. Like, this is going out on YouTube right now?
This is on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
And I totally forgot.
I didn't realize that.
What happened? You saw nothing here. Go, Danny.
So, okay, so it's a 5 episode mini series, or what is that? I Am Groot?
The Groot, I believe, is 10 shorts.
10 shorts.
10 shorts following him growing up.
All right, what would you rather, 10 shorts of Baby Groot or 10 shorts of Baby Yoda?
Growing up?
I don't know what this thing's going to be. It says growing up. So.
I'll take
Yeah, this one says I Am Groot is a series of original shorts that will follow Baby Groot's days growing up.
I'll take Yoda.
I'd take Yoda, too. I want to know. Yeah.
All up on the Grogu. Give me that. Give me some 10 Yoda.
I think I kind of agree with that. I think I'd rather... Yeah, but then again, I also kind of feel like we get that out of Mandalorian all the time. I think they've moved on from Baby Groot in the movies, so this is their only way to going back.
But you know how this works. Like, that's the only thing that's like Groot can't really, in my opinion, have something by itself because you already know what it's going to do, and so all the situations that are involved, you can't carry something like that.
Have you always been on the anti-Groot train, Eli? I mean, this is a side of you I haven't seen before.
He's not on the train. He's driving the train.
No, he owns the line.
He is.
He's a conductor, right? You bought all them railroads.
You go to my house, ain't no Baby Groot not in there. I'm just saying. I don't even play with Groot on the puzzle game I got. There ain't no Baby Groot.
Oh, this goes deep, it sounds like.
I mean, I'm saying my piece in the sense that I like original.
Is it an aversion to wood, aversion to wood, or just a cuteness?
Oh, God. I don't think he has an aversion to wood.
No aversion to wood. Not here.
He brings the wood.
Yeah, I just think that number one, the initial thing is that the original Groot was a very cool character, sacrificed himself for the team and says, I'm Groot. It works because it's the first time you see it, but it's a gimmick. I don't think that having to retract so that it's a, baby Groot saying the same thing but having less of a purpose helps that franchise, if you will. That's where I would come from with that. Even Baby Yoda helps the Mandalorian franchise because it can be cute, whatnot, but it can still lift stuff. And you're like, oh no, Baby Yoda passed out again. But
I mean, to be fair, do you really want to watch The Mandalorian next season or whatever and see him raising Baby Groot all over again?
Baby Yoda?
I'm sorry, yes.
Baby Grogu.
I'd like to see him raise Baby Groot.
Baby Yoda.
That'd be funny, actually.
That would be a quick one.
The part about Grogu that I want to see is just how he escaped Order 66. That's the part I just want to know. Whether it's in a video game or a comic book, just put it somewhere because I'm curious how he survived and how he ended up, like at the beginning of Mandalorian. We're in that little cocoon or bassinet, floating bassinet thingy, being hunted. I'm curious to know where that.
You can hide him.
Wait a minute. What do you mean escape Order 66? That happened. I thought the Mandalorian world happened after the prequels.
Yeah, but he survived Order 66, and there he is. So
he's 50 years old in the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian takes place 5 years or so after Jedi. So he was it. Matter of fact, that's one scene in this last season shows it.
Yeah.
You get the impression that he's inside something, watching all the
horror. Yeah,
killed.
We get some insight through the whatever her name, sister. What sister was it on
Sister
Soldier? Soldier in the last the Obi-Wan series. But so we kind of got an idea what she went through. So I'm curious to see, being 50 years old, how he survived or how Grogu survived. I assume it's a he. Grogu survived Order 66 and all that. So that's the part I'm curious about. And you can give it to me in a video game or a comic book. I'll do it either way, but it doesn't have to be serious. But I'm just curious about that story.
Well, you guys out there, like, are y'all more Baby Groot fans or more Baby Yoda fans? Because we asked ourselves at the table, what about you guys out there? What y'all think?
I never really thought about that, actually. I mean, baby's a baby. I don't know.
I mean, like Danny said,
I'm more a Muppet Baby fan.
Yeah, Muppet Babies are cool.
Babies, I'd rather that.
I watch that a lot.
Muppet Baby Groot.
Yeah.
Muppet Baby Groot.
Muppet Baby Groot.
Rubber Baby Buggy Bumpers.
That's the dude.
All right, so what's next?
Yeah, so man, after that we comes to Saturday, and between that, I believe we got some trailers that were dropped, but Marvel had Hall H in the evening, and they just dropped a lot of stuff.
That Kevin Feige guy, huh?
Yeah. First of all, just to keep everything in the timeline, you got two trailers that were released for the last parts of Phase 4, which was the She-Hulk trailer. So that was one of the first. Let's talk about that. One of the first things, and the thing that it was fun to see Mark Ruffalo back again as Hulk, and whatever. There's a little bit of comedy there, but the thing that caught my eye, and you guys kind of got to expand on this trailer a little bit more, is Daredevil making an appearance in the end, which I was because here's the thing. My background with this, I started watching the Netflix Marvel stuff earlier this summer, and I watched. So far I made it through both seasons of Daredevil and all the different Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and all that, and so far my top is Daredevil. I really like the stories and how they did it, and to know that it's Charlie Cox and what's his name that plays Kingpin?
Vincent
D'Onofrio. They're coming back for the Daredevil series, which we'll talk about a little bit later, and just seeing Daredevil pop in at the end of that trailer, and I'm not spoiling anything here. You can see the trailer, so check that out. That kind of got me a little bit excited. I was like, oh, cool. All right. They're doing something. He's not just going to be a cameo in Spider-Man. Daredevil's doing something.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? I'm curious to know, what you think about the trailer for She-Hulk and how Daredevil would fit in with all this. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, we can discuss Daredevil. I mean, he's getting his own series. I mean, beyond this little cameo, that's good to see. So am I looking forward to seeing it? I guess. I mean, I kind of wanted a little bit more of Daredevil being Daredevil. I mean, so much of what you got was Daredevil leading up to being Daredevil.
Right.
And so now that it was like watching Batman Begins. It's like, okay, that was nice. I want to see him being Batman now.
Right.
And so it kind of felt like we didn't see much of that. So I hope to see that a little bit more. I mean, 18 episodes, geez,
That's dedication.
That's a
Yeah.
lot, dude. Jeez. I mean, they're gonna bring him back. They're bringing him back.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Holy
mean,
moly.
that's gonna be months out of your life, so it better not suck.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, they got a lot to. Yeah.
But going back to
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk, yes. Okay, so I'm intrigued by this. I still don't understand how they can make Samuel L. Jackson and Kurt Russell and Michael Douglas look young, and I never questioned it for a moment. I feel like I'm watching these guys from 20, 30 years ago, but for whatever reason, She-Hulk still, to the eye,
Looks plastic.
looks wrong. It looks very video game-ish. I don't understand why.
I think the lady the actress, nothing against the actress, but I guess like she doesn't look like when she turns into the Hulk, She-Hulk, it doesn't look like it's her for one thing. Like she looks, I would say in plastic, but I mean, I'll go with it.
It just seems like
But it's a weird CGI
Yeah.
at some point.
like it shouldn't be that hard. It's not like she is so disproportionate like the Hulk.
But she's a
Right.
small person
Uh-huh.
in real life. And then like looks like she grows and then she's got her angular features as She-Hulk. I don't
But like you could just paint her face green.
go Lou
like-
Ferrigno style.
Exactly, and let her talk, and you just elongate the body features, make her body look a little bit more muscular. Why are you messing with her face?
Make her work out more.
I don't get it. It's something about her face when she talks.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm watching Final Fantasy or something.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's fair.
that stands out. Having said that, I'm looking forward to the series. I love the idea. Superhero law. Eli knows that we've been talking about for doing a project like that for a long time that we kind of like and believe that there's a lot of great stories that could come from that. So I am looking forward to it. I love the idea that in this trailer you got to see Banner teaching her or Hulk teaching her how to be a Hulk.
How to be Hulk. Yeah. Smart Hulk.
Yes.
That's the word. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward. I'm going to watch it. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to watch it. So.
I mean, that's the next thing coming out on D Plus. That because we're kind of in a lull right now.
yeah.
And the next thing is She-Hulk, and then after that, it's not D Plus, but Wakanda Forever. But yeah, I'm looking forward to checking that out. It's coming, I guess, the 11th. Is that right? August,
Yeah.
somewhere mid August in a few weeks.
I mean, you watch all these deep fake trailers. They can put, Mark Hamill's face on, and it looks totally convincing. And yet, for whatever reason, I don't know why.
Is that ILM that's doing all that?
I don't
I don't know.
know.
I'm curious.
Probably not. They probably try to
Curious.
go cheaper with it.
What makes it look even worse is that she's right next to Hulk, who
Yes.
CGI looks as great as always.
Exactly.
It looks so much weird, so much stranger.
Yes.
It is weird.
It
Yeah.
even-
perfected his CGI.
it
We
even,
got
like,
him down.
It draws away from Hulk because now I'm like kind of nitpicking Hulk. Like, why does she look wrong, but he looks right? Now the more I'm looking at him, now I'm starting to pick out his little flaws and
Right.
so I don't know what's happening with that, but I hope they polish that up a little bit further beforehand, before that comes out, because maybe they're still working on the CGI, but
I would agree.
August is coming up quick.
I think
I hope. Sorry, I'll go ahead.
no, go ahead. You, I guess.
I hope so because, like you said, it does take away, and it looks like it's be a pretty good show.
Yeah.
I enjoy the comedy. I enjoy the fourth wall breaking. That's straight from out of her comics.
She does that in the comics too. Is that what you're saying?
She would look to the camera. Well, she looks to the camera. And she makes a little comment. It's like she's looking back. She goes, what the hell? She looks back again. Her series back in the 80s, 89 at John Byrne.
Yeah.
She broke the fourth wall. It's like
So
Deadpool.
this is normal for her, is what you're saying.
I mean, at least in that, like,
And that isn't that serious. That's one thing she's known for. That being green and very, very curvy.
And seeing Tim Roth back as Abomination and watching that transformation into him, that was pretty cool.
That's cool.
That's
yeah.
what I was gonna say. I like the fact that it at least adds to the Hulk mythos, which you really haven't seen in a long time. Pretty much since the old school Incredible Hulk one, which we did. We got Ruffalo, in place of Edward Norton. So that myth hadn't really been explored as much. So that's cool to see that's a chance of that. But the CGI is weird. I do admit it looks like they want to make a comedy out of it, which I don't have a problem with. At the same time, I have a little worry when they start saying, yeah, we're just going to do, like, it's going to be straight comedy, whatever. Like, nah, just let it be organic. Don't try to
force it.
Yeah, don't try to tell me what type of thing it is, because the only thing that is not fair to this show, in my opinion, is that it has to anchor this phase, which has been a phase that's been all over the place. So it's kind of like putting added pressure on the show that it shouldn't have. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I am looking forward to seeing it. Absolutely. For what it is. And yeah, the Abomination was. I like Tim Roth when he was in Incredible Hulk. I mean, he's a phenomenal actor as well. So I would like to see what they pull with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looking forward to it. We'll definitely stay tuned. Subscribe to our channel. Go ahead.
Anybody else get the idea? I know this is coming in phase 4 or whatever, but did anybody else get the idea that this takes place before Shang-Chi? Because both Wong and the Abomination are in this one, and they're both in Shang-Chi fighting each other. In that,
they're buddies though, right? They're doing it just for whatever.
Yeah,
right.
They go from here to there, or they go from there to here. One of the two.
That's just an
idea I had.
That whole phase is crazy, though. Yeah. This whole phase 4 is crazy.
Yeah.
And then
I can't make heads or tails out of it.
Yeah, I can't. I don't even know where we're going with it.
Right.
All the different things
like,
are
now we finally have ourselves a sense of where, pardon the term, the end game is going.
Yeah.
But it still feels like we haven't gotten
completion.
Right. Except for Loki. It feels like if that's where we're going, we need a little bit more of a bite at the apple.
You definitely get the feeling that Feige heard people saying, "Where the hell are you going with this? This crap does not connect. Tell us where you're going." And he 100%. Gave it all at once.
Before we get to that,
that's funny. He says that though, because like actually, there's a part I was watching the footage, and there's a part where Feige's like, "Oh yeah, you want to know where Marvel's going with phase 4?" I was like, yes. Don't worry about that. So phase 5, we got all this going. I was like, oh man, I thought he was going to explain how any of this made sense, because we've always talked about that, and it's just like
they're throwing things on the wall to see what's stuck.
Yeah, just like, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Look, got good stuff coming on.
It's like they're just trying to produce properties that can fit every racial, gender, any kind of like they're just trying to appeal to as many people as they could possibly can.
Yeah,
with introducing such a diverse mixture of shows that they forgot to bottle the end, and make it all connect, which is what everyone's been waiting for.
Something Shaw did,
and that happened throughout. But I mean, you always had an Avengers movie or Captain America: Civil War, or something to kind of always bring you back to the main issues and
keep it on track. Yes. And then before we get to phase 5, the last thing we have in phase 4, of course, is Wakanda Forever, which forever we've been waiting for this thing to come out.
Yeah.
So that's the last thing. We just got a trailer for that. Saw all kind of stuff in there. We know it's going to be somewhat of an emotional roller coaster because we know the passing of Chadwick Boseman. They have a responsibility to that and Boseman. I'm sorry, not Boswick. Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
And so we got to figure out a way how they're going to resolve that and continue the story. So this is how they're ending phase 4. And you guys saw the trailer, I assume, yes?
Yeah.
Well, what do we think? Enlighten me. Because I only recognize the people that I've seen before in Wakanda, but there's a lot of other people that start showing up, popping out of water that I have no idea who these people are.
Oh, Atlanteans.
Yeah, Atlanteans.
Is that what that is?
Yeah,
really?
Namor.
Yeah. That's the whole idea behind bringing in Namor, is that he's representing the Atlanteans, and then that to me is going to be the most interesting part of the movie for me, because I don't know, Black Panther-less Wakanda kind of sounds a little bleak.
Yeah,
somebody takes it because in the trailer you see somebody with and we don't know. We assume it's going to be his sister. Well, I don't know.
The most hopeful part. I hope it's not. I really hope it's not, Sherry.
Like a little twist. Yeah.
I hope. You know what I hope happens? I hope what happens is that at the end of Black Panther, you saw Chadwick Boseman kind of offer to Killmonger, like, hey, we can save you. You don't have to die. Like, what, live in prison, stuff like that. Hopefully we find out that Killmonger never died.
He actually did save him.
He actually did save him, and there's your new Black Panther.
Okay, I got, damn it, Danny. You and I, our thoughts go together so often. But then again, sometimes they stray so far apart, I want to hit you.
Wow, how did it turn to violence so fast, officer?
You hard target.
But at the
This
very
is a
end
cop?
at the very end of that trailer, they showed the black somebody in the Black Panther outfit. They
With the
his-
claws, yeah,
his
absolutely.
claws come out.
Yeah.
And I freeze it right there to kind of tell if you can tell if that's a woman or a man, and it kind of looks like it's a guy. But if you remember, I thought the same thing because Killmonger, when he wore the Black Panther outfit or whatever outfit he had the gold accents on the costume.
Yes.
Mhm.
T'Challa had the silver.
Yes.
When that image, it looks like it's the gold.
I agree.
Claws and the gold accents on. So I'm like, I'm wondering the same thing. I wonder if they're going to show us how that Killmonger actually is there, and he's the new Black Panther.
I mean, he is an heir to the throne of Wakanda.
He technically
So
is,
it would
right?
make sense, and it would.
They established that in the previous movie.
Or
Right?
you know what? You could always have a multiverse to where T'Challa's father died, and T'Challa never came to be. And oh man, what's the dude?
Oh,
Killmonger's father. Blanking on the actor's name.
oh gosh, yeah.
Who dies?
Yeah, he moves to LA. Yeah.
Anyway, that he becomes a king of, and so just naturally he becomes, and then who knows? They maybe even name him after T'Challa. You know, like as a kind of a thing, it's some kind of a multiverse. Because I mean, now you get into multiverse. Does that sound very much more far fetched than the idea that Killmonger didn't really die at the end? Yes, that he's really fighting for Wakanda. I think that's a brilliant way to go with it. I just am not ready to see, like, we barely got to know Shuri. We got to know her in really one film. I really kind of want Black Panther to kind of, be
solidified and having a sequel. Yeah.
Before we already are passing the mantle off. You know?
I would agree.
It's Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Sam's going to take it.
Sam.
He's going to leave Captain America and he's going to become the new Black Panther.
Sam doing all the work. Huh?
Sam is doing everything. I'm going to be the new Black America.
He's going to be like in the shield,
Captain Panther
with claws flying, throwing shields. That's a hard work. That's a hard working hero right there.
Yeah,
I would that. I would.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say too. That movie has from the trail, I should say, that has a lot in it. I mean, like. I saw like there might be some talk of Riri Williams, who's kind of like a female Iron Man.
She was in the trailer.
Is the cartoon the character name?
Yeah,
Okay.
Riri. Yeah,
She was in the trailer.
yeah. Because there's a part where you see this person hammer out this like little symbol, and that's her symbol, a heart, and that's her symbol there.
Huh.
And so like my fear is that it's going to be one of those movies like Justice League. That's the best way I could put it. Where they just throw. No, I'm sorry, that's not right. Batman versus Superman. That's what I mean. Where they just throw in a whole bunch of elements, and then next thing you know, you're like, "What did I just watch?" And that's
Nothing can be that bad.
I don't want it to be because I think that Chadwick Boseman did a great job. And I think like on top of that, Black Panther character would be awesome to carry forth in a franchise, and it's just unfortunate that the gentleman got taken so soon.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, like that happened with the Joker, that happened with Batman, it's happened with Superman. They've always had an actor to replace because it's a hero.
Yeah.
And that mantle has to go forward. So I'm with you, Danny, and since that I hope they don't start trying to swift and change or just throw in so many elements. Having Namor in it is cool, but I'm kind of like, I saw the part is whales and people hanging on whales, and I was like, look, this look too weird now. This stuff look like
that looked wild, man. Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, I don't know, but it's cool to see Namor on the screen. But that's my only fear, based on the trailer about that movie.
The whale.
Yeah.
There's more than that. But yeah.
I'm showing up to the movie. I will watch this in the theater because I do want to see what they do with the Atlanteans.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to see how they handle the Black Panther thing. But I mean, I wish I had a lot more enthusiasm for this movie than what I do. And to me, like, there's several ways that this can fall flat and fail, and only a couple of ways that this is going to succeed.
Yeah,
because of Chadwick Boseman dying, and then their decision that we're not just going to go ahead and recast that part, and so yeah, you're walking into this like, man, there's several things they have to stick here.
Yeah, you're killing. You're killing like a crazy ideal, even though like it's that's what's so.
And to me, Killmonger is really the only one that can do it.
And it would make sense. He still and like
right.
He still has a name. The actor, of course, Michael B. Jordan, still has a name. He can still pull it. He's worked with Ryan Coogler. That's the guy's name.
Coogler, yeah.
Coogler. So I mean, right? They did Apollo. Creed. I'm sorry. I love Apollo. But I mean, they worked together, so that would make total sense.
It was like the one thing about watching Black Panther. Everyone walked away being like, "Man, yeah, Chadwick Boseman, awesome Black Panther." But that Killmonger dude, that dude stole that movie.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that.
He really made you feel, and that became the character that people look back on. So I really hope they do it because I think everything else you put Shuri in there is what everyone expects, so it's going to fall flat. It's like we're already dealing with having a new Captain America, dealing with having a new Iron Man. It sounds like so it's too much change. I mean, it's like now, like especially when you're talking about this whole thing of leading up to these Avengers stories where all this is going to culminate. It's like, well, who's left? You're kind of getting the B-level superheroes and Thor. Because they're even telling you, and we ain't gotten to it yet, but Guardians of the Galaxy, that's going to be that.
Yeah. So let's transition into it, man.
Sure. Hold on. I got another point about Black Panther.
Okay, go ahead.
Eli, how you feel about them changing Namor to Aztec?
To the Aztec, we explain that. I don't know. What
he looked like he should have been one of the dancers in Coming to America. When the new queen comes out.
in the comics, he's Atlantean. That's
yes,
middle of the Atlantic and everything. Here, he's going to be moving to Central America. Aztec culture.
Okay.
To answer your question, Kirk, actually, I had this conversation with a person a few days ago, and I really wish they would stick more to the comic lore. But I've said this in previous episodes and stuff. I think after the first phase, I just learned to not be a comic purist. Like I want to, because like I've read this and that's what I should see on the screen. But like they take a lot of leeway. And so there's this part where you have to say, am I happy that you're just making comic book movies? Because this is something like if I was a kid, I'd be doing backflips over. Or do I just say, man, like, these little weird nitpicky things, they're not what the character is. And why are they even making sure to accentuate something like that? So, yeah, I wish he would just be Atlantean and we wouldn't have to tackle all of that stuff. But at the same time, I have to, like, put a blinder on it and be like, well, just glad there's a comic book movie out there,
I'm with you, but I do think the character looked good.
You talking about, like, as far as, like, the look?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought they chose a great actor. I thought you look at him and like, yeah, I can see that. I could definitely see that.
But you can say, oh, he's Atlantean. Like, so yeah, like you would buy that.
No, you're 100%. Yeah.
And Aztec is like, why do you need all of that level?
He had wings on his ankles. Can't get more accurate than that. Come on.
Except for Aztec.
Also, Dan, I think you were saying about how this movie is going to move on or be important and everything. I heard, no confirmation or anything yet, but I heard. You remember how in the first Avengers we had that tease with Thanos at the end? How Thanos showed up and said, it was him. I've heard a rumor that there's actually going to be a big bad guy who's making brings this conflict in between Atlanteans and Wakanda, and it's Dr. Doom.
Really? We've been hearing about that. I've been hearing about that for a while. That should be interesting.
That's what I heard. I heard a couple of people online today saying about that he's gonna be the big bad that's making this conflict right here. So I guess that may bring it over, carried on to the Fantastic Four film.
Nice.
Interesting.
Who doesn't love vibranium?
Yeah. Oh man, I want some more vibranium in my life.
There you go. Me too.
Or at least,
I heard that's the reason why, because he's looking for the vibranium that Wakanda has for himself.
Yeah, improve his metal or something like that.
Because Victor Von Doom is a scary bitch. You know that.
Yeah. That's that's typical, villain plot 101. Get the vibranium. No one can stop you.
All right, so this brings us to Phase 5, of which there's a lot that was dropped for Phase 5, which they're calling the Multiverse Saga.
All right.
How about that? So
Were we already dealing with the multiverse saga in Phase 4?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I guess they just decided to give it a name, right?
Yeah.
I love the multiverse concept, but I still just haven't seen them like outside of Loki. Like Multiverse of Madness really didn't do anything for me. They did that. They made it work with Spider-Man. It's kind of been hit or miss as a concept thus far, I think.
Yeah, we just need something that ties it all together.
Yeah,
and at least keeps us into that particular thing. And like Loki, they hadn't done that in a while. We got Loki, Multiverse of Madness. That's about
what
it.
if?
What if? Yeah, and that was all last summer. We were talking about that last summer. So I'm curious to see where they go with this. And as I mentioned, we got Secret Invasion, we got Wakanda Forever, and then we go into
hold on.
Peace, right?
Let's go back. Huh?
Wakanda Forever is the last part of Phase 4.
Well, that's what I was saying. We have those two things, and then it transitions to Phase 5.
Now, is that Secret Invasion?
That is Secret Invasion,
Right.
coming out in spring 2023. That's
Eli,
right.
tell us what is. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I could have button. Ant-Man is before that.
Oh, Ant-Man before
Ant-Man
before
kicks
that?
it off.
Oh, okay.
Kicks it off.
Quantum Mania.
And
Yeah.
that's where your multiverse.
Wow, brother. What are you gonna do? Quantumania.
Okay, yeah.
Kang's coming back in that one. That's where Kang's going to be. They actually,
The reason why I mentioned Secret Invasion is because they didn't have an official date on the Marvel website. It just said spring 2023, but they have Ant-Man and the Wasp is May 5th.
Well, they said
February 17th, 2023.
in the unveiling in Hall 8.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
they were like, Ant-Man and Quantumania is going to kick off Phase 5, which again is a lot of pressure, I think, for that particular franchise.
What I'm seeing is Quantum Mania, February 17th, 2023. Secret Invasion will be arriving on Disney Plus in the spring of 2023. So
That's
Quantum
what I thought,
Mania would come first.
Yeah.
Brother.
All right. Yeah. So let's go with Ant-Man and the Wasp.
All right.
Quantum Mania. That's
Quantum
the first
Mania.
thing up, starting up Phase 5. We got the poster. We got some Kang in the poster. We got some what the daughter's name? I forget. Cassie
Cassie.
is also in her little outfit in the poster as well.
There's Hope and Van Dyne. There's
Van
Scott,
Dyne.
of course. And,
There's a little leaked footage that we watched earlier.
Yeah, we did. Like every other Ant-Man movie, I'd be just fine watching this when it comes on Disney Plus or
TBS.
except for the introduction of Kang. I want to see more. That character was so quirky and different and riveting, and there was something alluring about him. It felt like you were watching an incomplete version of Kang, so I really want to see what Kang is going to become.
That looks like a different version that we're going to get.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is it a different version every film? Is it like every single time you run across a Kang, you kill a Kang, there's still another Kang coming? Like, what are we going to be seeing here with all this Kang stuff? So knowing that we're going to actually get Kang, and this might be one where I actually go to the movie theater to watch Ant-Man for the first time.
Yeah, because he did at the end of Loki. He did mention there was a bunch of different Kangs throughout history,
Yeah.
the different universes.
At the end of the trailer, when he comes in, and you can't really see the trailer because the leaked footage I saw was taken at an angle, so you couldn't really tell. But he says he meets up with Scott. He says something like, "Haven't I killed you before?"
Right.
Something like that. It's like, oh crap, this guy's gonna be badass.
Yeah.
That's the way because you're used to the quirky character that we saw before. This one doesn't seem to be quirky.
Yeah,
He's all serious.
he all business. I would say, like, and it's a guess, but I would say, yeah, if you're gonna have Kang, at least in the comics, I mean, there's always some different version. He's always trying to master the timeline, and so you get so many different versions that this one alternate version. I read this book a long time ago, Avengers Forever, and there was like this one Kang that mastered everything. So I would hope that you do get different versions just to kind of make it, put a little extra spice in it. So it won't be, straight bad guy, but you get a couple, different versions of it. So it'd be something that you like. Because Sirius Kang in the Ant-Man film, I don't know.
No, I dig it because I watched the cartoon Earth Mightiest Heroes, and I only got one Kang on that one, but he was enough for me. I mean, I thought that Kang the Kang the Conqueror was a badass.
Yeah,
I was like, this is awesome. And then when I heard you came in Loki 2, I was like, oh yeah, I know that was enough to wet my whistle. I was very psyched for it. Just I didn't realize there were many different Kangs, but I was just happy with the one Kang I got in that cartoon series. So yeah, I'm curious to see what they take it.
I am too.
I'm curious to see what Bill Murray's role is.
Yes,
that looks really.
There's a character called the Chive.
It's going to come to a point in a couple of years where just every actor in Hollywood has acted in a Marvel film at some point in time. Like there's just going to be no way to avoid it.
When they going to put Denzel Washington there?
That's a great
question. Yeah, that'd be great.
Like who could he be? That's a great question.
Oh, in the world of the multiverse,
anybody who wants to.
Yeah. I'd be fine if he was Magneto. He was Malcolm X. Same guy.
Another Spider-Man. There you go.
Yeah, he'd be Spider-Man.
Another Spider-Man, yeah. But a different kind of Spider-Man.
If the MCU was made in the 90s, he probably would have been Black Panther, right, Lee?
That's exactly right.
Is that work?
Yeah. All right. So happening at the same time, as that we got Secret Invasion, which I have no idea what the heck this is about. I imagine Skrulls are involved, maybe.
Okay, yeah, that's I asked you, Eli, to explain that to me. So why don't you explain to listeners what the hell is Secret Invasion?
So Secret Invasion is a storyline that they have where like the Skrulls start to impersonate all various people on Earth, like normal people, heroes, and otherwise. So of course, it's a Earth invasion plan without bringing out all your business. So I think here, like this is for Disney Plus. I think like Samuel L. Jackson's in it, and Kobe Smulders is.
Maria Hill,
yeah. So I think they try to do like this kind of espionage, kind of paranoia. Who do you trust? Who can you not trust? Kind of thing. But it's pretty much an alien invasion of Skrulls, but you don't know
who's a Skrull, who's not. I mean, I hope so because they kind of took Nick Fury and left him in space with the Skrulls.
Well, aren't Skrulls good people?
The thing is, I remember in the cartoon series, Earth Mighty Heroes, they weren't.
They're right. They always were bad, but Captain Marvel Skrulls were nice.
Because I remember in the cartoon series, they had a whole series where the Skrulls took over Captain America, and they didn't know who they were fighting in the Avengers.
Yeah.
And then they discovered it later. So it was like a whole series of cartoons shows that they showed showcasing that they were not good. But in this case, it seems like they're portraying them as like okay people.
Well, I mean, there may be a sect that is bad because when the book came out, actually, I used to have a T-shirt that was like it had like all of the heroes here. Like it was started with Iron Man and Miss Marvel and all this stuff. They were all Skrulls, and so yeah, it could be.
Well, and that's going to be the problem with this. So I'm not really kind of looking forward to this one because it's like if we're basically dealing with a TV show where the main bad guy could be anybody.
Yeah,
you better come with some real like if you can be anybody, I better see. All of a sudden, Tony Stark's back. All of a sudden, Cap's back. All of a sudden, Spider-Man's here. It's like if you
Aunt May,
exactly.
Aunt May,
Aunt Milf,
Aunt Milf.
Or just heroes that they can introduce later,
right?
Or
Thor better show up. Like if a Skrull can imitate anybody, hopefully they're not just imitating. Oh wait, Kirk's got Secret Invasion right there. And who's on the cover of this?
Yeah, what do we got here?
That's
Kirk?
Captain America. That looks like is that Iron Man to the right?
Like Iron Man to the right, yeah.
So then there looks like Hawkeye, there's Spider-Man.
Sure. So that's what I'm saying. It's like you got to bring all the heavy hitters because if the Skrulls can be anybody, you don't want them just being Joe Jerkoff. They got to be somebody of importance in the Marvel universe. Otherwise, why turn into them?
I now want to see Joe Jerkoff.
Oh God, he was
awesome. He has some serious superpowers, though.
Unfurled,
shoots a Skrull right out of there.
He's got a really big right arm.
Yeah. Super Skrull. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that one. I mean, I like conspiracy theory stuff, but yeah, I agree with you. It should be something that's because that's a far out concept from a far out book. So you got to have some superhero stuff up in there. And I'm worried when they do the D+ stuff because that's not the same budget as having like a full on movie.
Sure,
so that's a fair concern.
Yeah, but they've been doing pretty good with the Star Wars stuff and in that kind of style, the movie style and the budgets. Granted, they're only like 6 episodes.
But but MCU stuff, you got people that gotta fly without jetpacks, and they, you're talking about a storyline where aliens are gonna show up from another planet and turn into other people. That's a lot of special effects. Yeah.
I was gonna say that last Star Wars series.
Whoa, look at that!
I don't know.
We got Kirk's got something up that I'm soloing. Just so
Okay.
Oh man,
everybody can check out the big.
So
fight
it's
scene.
like real heroes fighting the Skrull versions of themselves.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you would want to see, but clearly that's not what we're going to
No,
get.
it's probably gonna be like
See the
straight
back?
shields.
Oh, what's the back, Lucy?
Oh, it's a poster for Iron Man.
The original yeah.
Iron Man.
That's
What
how
started it all.
That's how old school that story.
Inside the back cover.
Oh, sold it again.
That's what it should have been.
And the
Oh.
Hulk. Oh my God.
Dang, Ed Norton. Could've been
Classic.
Great.
Classic.
Ruffalo's been fine. I got no complaints. I'm with you. I'm a Ned Norton fan. So, but anyway, moving forward. Let's move this whole
But
conversation.
that's Secret Invasion.
Yeah,
Right.
Secret Invasion. And then after that, on Cinco de Mayo of 2023, we got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
I am not looking forward to this.
I was gonna say like I would be if Guardians 2 was halfway decent, but
Thank you.
it's like
Lee.
I mean, if there's anything that that I like on the comic book spectrum, it's Guardians of the Galaxy. Like this was one of those ones like, oh man, now I'm into Marvel a little bit.
That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's
so
a film you show people who are not Marvel fans that gets them into Marvel.
It worked.
Yeah.
But you don't show them Star 2.
No, you don't.
like Thor Part 2, right?
Yes.
Yes.
You don't show them Thor Part 2.
Iron Man 3.
Not that bad, but
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, it's possible the third one could be
Uh,
better. It could be good, but what's the
Yes,
chance?
it could
I mean, it could be like Cars 3, like not as good as the first one, but way better than the second one.
Kirk, I sense you have a problem.
Yeah,
with
he's having
us
a conniption.
not
This, next
liking.
thing you're gonna be telling me is you don't like Iron Man 3. Come on, what the hell?
House party. House
nothing
party
to tell you
protocol.
right
Yeah, the pajama jam Iron Man.
Yeah. The only thing good about that movie was the credits.
Oh. And Kirk's having is
Take some
upset.
time. Let that
He's
man
all
be.
upset. Look at him.
No, go ahead, Kirk.
Do you really like Guardians of the Galaxy too?
Oh, I thought it was awesome.
Get out of here.
Oh,
Really?
yeah. I love that movie.
Okay.
I get well, look and this is only one part, but at the end when after Yondu's gone, they done buried him out in space, whatever, and that song comes on that he's listening to. I forget what the Fathers and Sons, I think is the name. Look, little tear every time.
Oh.
Oh, you felt that.
Felt it.
That's cool.
All up in here.
All up in your chest.
He may have been you.
Yeah, but the rest of the movie sucks.
Oh, and Lee just
It
throws.
wasn't good. Like, yeah, that was the Wandu stuff was good. Wandu.
Bringing this joke
That,
back.
I mean, that was good.
Wandu.
Wandu Wednesday. That's how we got it.
But yeah, so I mean, that part was good to see. I mean, it definitely like tugged at your heartstrings, but it's like, yeah, but the rest of the stuff was just stupid. So it's like, yeah, I mean, I get the ending was good, but overall, in general, I mean, the movie is just terrible.
Well, look, here's my fear for this one. This third one is like, I don't have confidence in Baby Rocket.
Well, you don't know that. I mean, you're probably going to get a flashback.
Yeah, but that's my like. I like Rocket. That's my favorite character out of that group because it's Enigma. It's just like, okay, here's this augmented raccoon that does stuff, and I'm good with that. So I don't really need to see a backstory, but it looks like, here's my fear, right? It looks like, again, from what I read, like they're gonna have like Adam Warlock in it. That could be awesome, right? But then there's like the high evolutionary, like, so there's more celestial stuff which really hasn't been established, and then what does that have to do with, you know, Baby Rocket? And then like, I don't want to see a raccoon cry. That didn't seem to work in the second one.
And this is supposed to be like the ending of their trilogy.
Yeah.
But yet we're going to have to go through a period where Gamora doesn't have any knowledge of Peter Quill, so you got to go through them reconnecting just to get back to a norm where it's like, okay, you like us, we like you, and there goes Kevin. He's got to go pee. Look at him doing the pee walk. Right at the door. Bye, Kevin. Pee walk. Surprised he opened the door. I thought he was going to Kool-Aid man it right through. Like, oh yeah, boom. So yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. I will go see this in the theater. Look, to me, it's one good movie, one bad movie. And then, no offense, Kirk. I mean, just the last one didn't connect with me. So that's where I'll go with.
Yeah, again, maybe it'll be the Cars 3 situation where it's like, oh, okay, that was much better.
It was much better, but still kind of sucky.
Yeah, what I heard, Groot is going to be older and a more different physical character, bigger. So maybe that'll be better.
And I'm good.
Okay.
I would take that. I mean, look, I've seen the first two. I love the first one, absolutely. But what made the franchise special was that they were a bunch of misfits that were going on adventures.
Right.
And that was it. They just cracked jokes, ripped on each other, kind of like what we do here on the show, you know, right? And that was it. Once it starts getting into this weird, I'm a sappy animal and all that stuff, I'm like, no, that's not what this character blows people up. Like,
yeah, it does worry me that we got to go to the cuteness of seeing a little baby Rocket come, and then the trauma of watching how they hurt him and mutilate him and make him this thing and put him together. Like, I mean, that heart-wrenching story that you got, and they summed up perfectly within that 30-second scene. We're going to watch it play out probably for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I would say. We got the perfect backstory. You could see it. You could hear the way he talked and how he looked when he's talking about it. We don't need to see exactly how it all went down.
It's like finding out how Michael Myers became Michael Myers. It's like you did exactly what you needed to do. Why we need to revisit it. Kevin's gone, so I guess I'll take it over here.
I was going to say the next thing up is Echo.
Echo
for Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's what I think about Echo.
What?
All right, moving on.
Echo.
Does anybody really Echo?
I mean,
The hell?
I didn't care about the character when the characters in the comics for
Thank you
for Daredevil.
Like I felt bad about the character and stuff, but I mean the character really was ultra aggressive and did nice, but then mean, but then I who cares?
But you do it. It's Elektra, pretty much.
Yeah,
that's what I would think.
All right, moving on. Does anybody have anything positive to say? Kevin, do you care about Echo?
I had to ask Eli who Echo was to remind myself who that person was. I just remember there was a person that shot Kingpin at the end of Hawkeye, and that was it.
It's a prequel. It's really Echo 1, and it's going to be a Star Wars prequel.
Oh, where's Echo base?
Hey, isn't that the Ghostbusters car?
Huh?
Isn't that the Ghostbusters car?
Ecto one. Ecto. Close. A little different.
I like how y'all are still echoing Ecto 1.
Yes.
I like that.
Echo.
All right.
Echo.
So,
all right.
Moving on.
We
Loki
got-
season 2.
Yeah, summer 2023, man.
What do y'all think about that?
I am curious to see where that goes. I liked Loki.
I like Loki
Last year,
as well.
yeah. 2 years later, I'm enjoying it too, especially since we left him hanging with his boy, his friend that he grew to enjoy. I forgot the character's name. Owen Wilson's character.
Yes.
He left in a different universe where he didn't
Mobius.
know he was. Yeah. Yeah, Mobius. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'm curious to see where that goes.
So I'm kind of looking forward to it, but not in the same realm because I didn't think we needed this. Like
The
I
second
heard they were
season?
filming it, and I was
Uh-huh.
like, okay, cool. I enjoyed the first one. I'll tune in for the next one, but I kind of felt like Loki was there to establish the concept of the multiverse. Cool. Now cultivate it in the movies so it can move forward and get to an endpoint. Why are we still talking about it? Why are we still getting into this? I mean,
It made money, and
Yeah.
you're not going to turn it down.
yeah.
Well, Tom Hiddleston need work. So I'm good with that.
It's
I like
just
Sunny, yeah.
the problem with it is, and again, it's not to say it was bad. I will tune in. I will watch. It just gives you more crap to watch so you can follow what the main storyline is, which is what we all want to do.
Mhm.
We all just want to know where else is going, and we can invest our time to have to watch all these little side stories and all. Look,
I mean, just at least tie it into the main timeline, right?
yeah,
I mean, I don't mind the side story as long as they bring it back to it's supplementing this.
like because where can Loki go from here? We got the introduction of the concept of the multiverse. Now all these creatures are coming in. Okay, now what? We're going to get more time variant stuff. I mean, it kind of felt like we got enough of that. I don't need to watch that continue to play out. So,
Yeah,
Anyway.
I'm curious.
The bottom line it is
Good.
you have just the same reason we got a Thor Love and Thunder, which is technically Thor 4.
Mhm.
You have a bankable star at the center of it, and they want to put him back up. And like Lee said, make some more money.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, also that summer on July 25th, 29th, somewhere there, 2023, 28th, sorry. 2023, we got The Marvels, which was also teased this past year with Miss Marvel ending. If you haven't seen that yet, of course, Brie Larson somehow they swap places thanks to that bracelet that she has. And so, yeah, that supposedly leads us to the Marvels episode, which if I zoom in on Kirk is thoroughly excited.
Let me see that.
Look at him.
Show me that smile.
He is very excited for the Marvels.
Yeah, this really is a stupid way to go with this. I don't understand this. Hopefully this will be fine, but god dang, like I didn't have the problem with Captain Marvel that Kirk did, obviously, but you introduce her as being one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful
has to be
superhero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and now you just throw her in like she's a part of the Shazam family? Come on, man.
Yeah, I was hoping that they would have done, like, I know they talked about this in the rumors and innuendos like years back when they had Endgame and then they had all the female superhero characters standing together, you know, like there was her and there was Rescue, I guess that's Pepper Potts.
Yeah, Pepper Potts, Rescue.
And, you know, that was like, you know, there was, you know, Scarlet Witch and all. I mean, so it's like, oh, okay, well, that's awesome, you know, because that's got some nuance to it. But yeah, I'm not sure how this kind of pulls itself out because I mean,
she should be treated like Superman, not like a member of the Brady Bunch.
I agree. I totally agree. I think that's an empowerment for a lot of people who want to see, you know, ships being broken, and we know as storytellers how tough that is to have someone who's invulnerable that can't be touched. It's really hard to make a story that makes it relatable, but it's just fun to watch them break stuff.
You know, we're gonna get Captain Marvel then. You know,
I hope they add somebody there that you're like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
It'll be the one from WandaVision.
Well, that Captain Marvel, the daughter and the mom probably. If we're talking about multiverse,
that's got to be a serious villain that they're gonna face, though, because that's a lot of power in itself.
It's a celestial
point.
Yeah. You can't have no person show up. Well, that maybe.
But can't be no low-level threat. It's got to be something
big.
Yeah. I mean, you got it. Like that has to be pure. Like, because now you're trying to put characters. Here's the thing, right? Mm-hmm. You're trying to put one character that had one movie and it had a couple of parts in game, and they were like high impact parts. You know, when she showed up, she punched the ship out. She showed up, she punched Thanos in the mouth or whatever, right? So now you got a base movie on that, and then someone that had a TV show. So that means you got to really put a lot of faith into this franchise and make that stick out the way you're supposed to have some faith in it to be. And that's really hard to do with characters you don't know.
Right. Yeah, interesting. I'm curious to know, and so Eli could kind of tell me a little bit about this. I'm curious to know how it all fits in to the multiverse thing. Are we going to get like maybe like a Miles Morales Spider-Man? We have a bunch of different Spider-Mans, or we have to get a bunch of different Miss Marvels that are bouncing in.
I mean, you know, having to just speculate without seeing the movies or whatnot, I would imagine that they're going to have a bunch of like, not from different multiverses, but I would imagine that there's just something that calls the women that are already established together to, you know, come in and say, oh, I'm Miss Marvel, no, I'm Captain Marvel, like, you know, to have that kind of comedic moment, and then they just kind of say, okay, screw it, let's just take on the big bad, because you've at least established something with Captain Marvel and then Miss Marvel, like you said, so you wouldn't do yourself a service to the fans or to your franchise if you don't really build on that. And I would definitely stay away from making multiverse stuff with that movie.
Yeah.
Mainly because you got to establish a whole new cadre of heroes.
Right.
And make them as awesome as your phase 1 heroes, which is a really tough thing to do.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Yeah. All right. So going from that, we're going into fall 2023. And I'm going with this one first, only because they have it ahead on the timeline from this other one, but it's probably won't be Wesley Snipes, right? But we're getting it should be. You know, you're right. I remember watching that when it was awesome. But
grew up on.
We're talking about in November 3rd, 2023 in theaters, Blade making its appearance or debut in the MCU. How about that?
How are they going to top the original? Is it a continuation? Is it a pre? Is it just a redo? What is it?
Are they acknowledging the original? Maybe
I
we
don't
should
think so.
start
I
there,
think
Lee.
they're just
That's a good question.
redoing it.
Just a redo. Just start over.
Yeah,
Oh,
start over.
Oh,
I think.
man.
I love Wesley Snipes. Man.
Oh,
Take
that was
a
good.
cue from Top Gun.
From Top Gun.
Yeah, Top Gun. That movie did so good this summer, man. People are gonna. I don't know. Blade was like so unique. Again, that's again to me like Guardians of the Galaxy was like I knew nothing about this. Didn't know it was a comic book character or nothing. But just Wesley Snipes was such a badass dude, in that movie, and just man, just again it was just so unique, such a unique twist on the whole vampire genre that you did not have to be a big comic book fan to love this movie.
And that's the thing, right? Is like this was a time when comic book movies weren't as prominent as they are now.
Right.
But it was during a time when a lot of vampire movies were coming up, like Interviewing the Vampire. Yeah, what was that?
Lost Boys.
Yeah, Lost. The thing. What was that? One Night in Mexico or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about. You're talking about
Tarantino. Yeah, what was that called?
Robert Rodriguez.
Darkness. Dang, I can't think of it now.
Yeah, because the dude had the little.
Because it's George Clooney.
That's Before Dawn. Thank you. Yeah. So they had a bunch of vampire movies, and that Blade happened to come out around that time when all that was happening. But it won't be Wesley Snipes, but it is Blade.
Now you know who the actor is, right?
I don't actually.
Okay,
I don't.
You watch Luke Cage.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so you know the villain in the first season,
Cottonmouth.
Not Cottonmouth.
Not Cottonmouth.
The other dude. The brother that's
the brother, not Shades.
Yeah, not Shades.
Who's the other bad guy?
See, exactly, right there.
I remember. I just know Cottonmouth and no Shades. I don't know anybody else.
Because he goes ahead at the end and he's the guy that runs the club. That's the thing. He's a good actor, but I've never seen him.
You had to explain that one to me.
Exactly. This is like Wesley Snipes. Like, I mean, this dude knew martial arts. He was Passion 57. This guy did stuff that you were like, oh yeah, like,
and still looks good.
Still, he can still do it. I would totally.
You saw it Come to America too,
and he was Nino Brown.
Yeah.
I just think that's I like the character, but I mean, this dude that's taking his place, I'm sure he's a great actor and whatnot, but he's not someone that sticks out to be like, oh man, that dude's gonna kill it. This looks like something that's gonna depend a lot on CGI. You're not gonna get any close, tight action of this dude like you did with Wesley. Like, I'm sorry,
this dude. I remember him from House of Cards. That's what I remember.
Okay. Oh yeah, I never saw it. Yeah. Okay. Well, watch Wesley Snipes make a cameo. I bet you.
She'll make a cameo and take over that.
Yeah, if he makes a cameo, he might distract people from the fact that there was a better guy who did this.
Yeah.
Oh, this true.
The Blade made a little cameo in Eternals at the end, the end credit scene with the Black Knight.
Okay.
It was his voice that spoke to him. I don't know. I only saw it once.
I think you meant to say that he's on Cameo.
Oh, gotcha. Cameo, yeah.
But who knows? Maybe it's good.
Yeah, maybe so.
I hope so. I mean,
maybe it won't be Mobius 2.0.
Oh,
or
boy.
Morbius. What was it?
Yeah, Mobius.
No,
yeah,
Mobius.
Yeah. The Sony Spider-Man. Yeah. They didn't see that.
Yeah.
Oh, good God.
It looked broke.
Yeah. I never saw that, so I have no idea. So
Ironheart.
Yeah, Ironheart, fall 2022. 2023. Sorry.
So we don't get a Pepper Potts Iron Man. We don't get a Don Cheadle War Machine movie. We go straight to Ironheart.
Who's Ironheart?
Exactly.
Riri.
I don't know who's Riri.
Yeah.
I work with a Riri, but that's only your nickname.
Oh Lord.
I don't know. What's this Riri Williams?
I mean, yeah.
Talk to me.
That's just this young teenage girl. I think
lots of teenage things.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, I mean, maybe it speaks to the wokeness world. I'm not really.
Maybe they'll be longer in the canon, and they won't maybe die off as quick. I don't know.
She in the books. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Kirk, but I think she has some of Tony's stuff. It's not like Tony just kind of says, "Oh, all right, you're the next Iron Man." She kind of takes some of his work and just kind of builds on her own. Builds own stuff, builds own suit, builds own armor. And goes from there.
But haven't we seen this with Spider-Man? He has armor. Pepper Potts has armor. War Machine has armor. Hasn't the whole armor thing ran thin at this point?
Apparently not.
I think it has.
I don't know. But see, a Disney Plus series with that, I think they tried to capitalize the fact, if we're right, that this character is going to be in Wakanda forever, and it's going to be popular enough to have her own series.
I hope they're right.
So it's a gamble, which is why I don't have an exact release date.
Right.
They just have a general fall 2023.
Right.
Why I'm not looking forward to that.
And I
Yeah.
agree with what Danny said. Like, why not have a War Machine? Why not have Pepper Potts? Like, in other words, we got people
And War
that
Machine,
established.
Aren't they supposed to have a show? With
he's
War
popping.
Machine,
No, I think
or
It's
I
like-
think something he was supposed to be in, but I think now he's popping up
like
and
Wars or Metal Wars or what do we call it?
Army,
Metal Gear?
Army Wars.
Army War, Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
Army Wars.
I think War Machine is popping up in another film, another series. I'm sorry, I don't remember.
You talking about
what
the
it was.
actors popping up somewhere? You
I'm talking about Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle, yeah. War Machine, yeah.
Yeah.
exactly. I think his character's popping up. Go ahead.
He's supposed to be a Secret Invasion.
There you go.
Oh, really?
That's
okay.
what it was.
That's a
So we're not getting
Oh, I
Armor
like that
Wars, I
behind
guess,
you.
right? I guess we're not getting Armor Wars.
It hasn't been announced, but in Phase 6, I think there's like 8 slots that are open, but nothing was put in them, so that may be in there.
Oh,
that
Armor
Ray-
Wars?
Is that Ray Ray behind you?
Yeah, that's Riri.
That is Riri behind me.
Yeah.
Look at Riri.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, Ironheart.
You call Riri.
What
Riri.
do you feel? What do you feel about this, though, Kirk? So, like, as a new character, there's a whole lot of, Iron people we could put in there. We go Riri, making it happen. Give them the heart, Ironheart.
Where else would they go? I mean,
Where else
the character's there. They got to put somebody to replace. I say replace Tony. I don't think you can actually replace Tony, but that type of hero, that type of person in the MCU, that with that skill set, the whole, the armor and everything.
Yeah.
You're not gonna do it with Don Cheadle. You're not gonna do it with Rhodey.
I don't. Why not?
Because I don't think they would. This character is ready made for them. I wouldn't doubt that this character was made within the last 10 years. I'm not really sure. I think she was. This is the angle for it.
It's early. It's an early character. It's a young character. I'm sorry.
I mean, I dug Don Cheadle's character.
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
think they did a good job. I think,
I don't-
but I don't think they would trust the whole movie to the character.
Well,
But
it's
you're gonna do it with give her a series. I hope she blows out the water.
so. Maybe what you're trying to say here is that what they're doing is they're not making necessarily the best choice of a continuation of an Iron Man story, but the best choice of to appeal to a younger demographic.
Correct.
Yeah, it's a variant.
Yeah.
And the character, she's there already. She exists in the Marvel universe. You can debate whether she should have been created in the first place. That's a whole other topic. She's there, so let's utilize her. Bring a whole different audience.
You know what's funny before we move on was like, so all the Disney Plus series, like for the Marvel part, they talk about the 616. I don't know if anyone's seen this, but there's an episode in there that talks about how a comic book is created. And they actually do one about Iron Man 2020. Like they did, it was like an older character. And then when it got to 2020, they were like, oh, let's redo him. And he's supposed to be, I think Stark's like half brother or something like that.
Okay.
He has the tech in the suit, but it's like he has these big goofy gears on him. And I just thought that would have been funny in the sense that they made a documentary with Dan Slott. Like they showed you the whole process of making the book.
Mm-hmm.
And then yet that character that they just showed you how it's made doesn't get a Disney Plus series. I mean, nothing against Riri. I'm just saying, like, there's a little buildup you have.
Are you talking about that series that showed Dan Slott is like the idiot like he is?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, of course, I know you're upset because he killed Spider-Man. Totally good died. Totally good died.
I'm just saying we just got done with Miss Marvel, and this does not
Totally
speak
get
to
that.
me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know. Maybe y'all out there loved Miss Marvel. I
don't know.
I
I
thought
don't know.
it had
if
its
it's bad,
moments, but for the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving
Yeah,
on.
moving on. Yeah, we got coming winter 2023-24, so they don't have exact dates. It could be December or January. We have Miss Agatha with the Covenant Chaos coming in there.
Moving on.
Yeah,
moving
go
on.
past
Moving
that.
on.
A villain should not have their own show.
Like what the hell? Didn't we say
Loki?
everything we needed to say?
Well, Loki's not a villain
He
anymore.
bounces
though,
back. He's always bounced back and forth.
But he was
right?
at least charismatic. I mean, this.
Yes.
I'm kind of like, okay, well, does that mean that the Scarlet Witch didn't want to do WandaVision no more? So they were just like, hey, this will work. Like, I don't know. That just seems.
She brings back
shoehorned in.
Wanda. That's what she does.
I'm not excited about this one. I
don't know what to expect.
No,
but
no
I,
disrespect to the actress or the
she nailed it as Agatha
great.
on the series.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's got to hold her own series now.
yeah. It doesn't pump you up, right?
Not
Like,
a bit.
yeah.
Oh, maybe it's like a Boba Fett series where it's mostly about Wanda, but
That's
a little
not-
bit about Boba Fett.
They ain't good, bro.
Yeah,
They ain't good, bro.
I can see them. They did it once. Who knows? They could do it again.
They do whatever they
It's an
want.
Agatha, but it's mostly WandaVision.
I mean, it's stuck on there now.
Yeah.
That's probably why they put
Where's
this on
Deadpool
TV.
3?
I know, right? That's what I want. Deadpool 3. Why is it not on here?
Yeah, where's
I thought he was
Mutants?
joining the MCU. That's what I want.
More
You
mutants.
you can find him on Disney Plus, apparently.
I know. 1 and 2 and Logan.
All right. So next up is what? Daredevil?
Next up, it's spring 2024. They list Daredevil Born Again with Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
Right?
That's your people right there.
That's what
Kevin.
people.
You
I'm
guys-
looking forward to it. It's a ways off. They don't have an exact date, so I hope it comes to fruition. But we'll see what happens.
I'm all right.
I can watch it. I mean,
Yeah, no, I'm going to watch it, and
Yeah.
I'm going to hope it's going to be good. I mean, hopefully it's not as dire as the last one.
I never
The
got
Netflix
past
stuff?
the
Yeah.
second season of that, so I have to try to.
I'm about to
watch
start
that.
the third season,
But-
so I'll let you know.
Yeah, it's
But I mean, that's a heck of a long time
Yeah.
between what do you call it? She-Hulk and then Daredevil. So I wonder if he makes an appearance before then,
and Daredevil's a good character. So yeah, it just seems how they
If
how they
written
use
right,
him.
yeah.
if written right. Right.
Yes.
All right, Captain America.
May 3rd, 2024. Captain America: New World Order.
When all these people watch you, baby, you better not stink.
So better said as Captain America NWO
Yeah.
for life.
Wasn't that the name of the first episode for Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
New World Order.
I want to say.
It might have been. I don't remember. It's been a while
I'm
since
pretty
I've seen
sure.
that
So
one.
it's like, how broke are you doing this now? Now you just taking the title of one episode, making a movie out of it.
Either way, they're gonna have an Old Bay in the background.
Oh, I was going to say the same
Oh,
thing. As long as
boy.
they keep Old Bay out of it.
Oh, babe.
I think it's just call it Captain America. Who dis?
Who yeah?
Who this? New phone. Who this?
Who you? Who you here?
New actor. Who this?
Yeah.
You actor. Who this? I'm
Oh,
so
man.
worried. I'm so worried. Like in the books, they don't do it right. Where it's like,
Really?
well, yeah, because I bought when they first did Sam as Captain America, I bought it for the art. I'm a fan of Stuart Immerwin, who who drew it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So I love the art. But it was like when I read the first few pages, like, oh my God, like they were calling the man illiterate and all this other stuff. Like, slow down a second, like, give brother a chance, like,
Oh my gosh.
just be like, hey, we're gonna crush you, man of democracy. Like, I'll take that. But it has a different tone to it in the books. And even when we saw Falcon and Winter Soldier, I mean, it had that undertone of, well, you're not really Captain America. You're just what America has issues with.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, okay. Like some parts, I was like, I get it. And other parts, I was like, come on, man. Let's have America,
Yeah,
man.
can he just represent America, kick some ass, and be done
can he
with
just
it?
do
I
his
mean,
shield and do stuff? Now,
Yeah.
That's all that's important.
having said that, the only fear I have is that they
Fear
take.
itself.
No, this could be a multiverse thing. Like you were asking
Oh.
about something earlier in the books. He fought a female Red Skull.
Okay.
It was like Red Skull's daughter. He fought all these offshoots of actual Captain America villains. Like he fought Batroc. Like it was all in this one book. I'll break it. I didn't do like Kirk and had the book on me, but that's the only thing I can see. Maybe they'll do something weird with that. But I just hope they don't take
Right.
it like where they had it. That's about it.
I'm with
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
Eli, question
Sure.
for you.
Yes, sir.
Not that they ever would have gone this way with it, but if they would have went in the books and gave the title to Bucky instead, would that have been better?
Yeah, that would have made more sense. It would have made more sense because he would have been in that era. I think that it's tough that you have a guy who's already an established hero,
That's it.
and then you say, "Hey, you get the man of this other hero,"
Mhm.
and so like now you
It's
kind
like making Robin Batman.
it's more like making it's more like
That's happened before.
Boy,
Huh?
It's more like making Robin Superboy. He's already one type of hero, and then you're like, hey, just put you in this tier that you're not even typically in. So Bucky would have made more logical sense.
Because he has a similar powers and a similar I can see that.
Yeah.
No,
Or you take Sam and don't let him be the Falcon. because he's a combination of both heroes. He has the shield and the costume or the colors of Captain America, but he still has his wings.
And the powers of the Falcon, like really, instead of the shield, he doesn't have Captain America's powers, right?
You made the analogy of Robin into Batman. Well, that's actually happened in the books before, where Dick Grayson, not the aged up, but he took over for Batman when Batman was dead or gone or whatever. Comic book stuff.
Okay.
But he was no longer Robin. He didn't dress in a Robin costume. He was in a Batman costume, and nobody knew.
At least he had that in between Nightwing phase where he went from Robin to now I'm Nightwing. I'm getting a little edge to me, and now I'm Batman. I can see that, but Falcon never. I mean, Falcon's Falcon, and then the idea that hey, you can just turn the Falcon into Captain America. It's been a hard thing to accept. And look, hey, we like the actor, we like the character.
Yeah,
Anthony Mackie, Louisiana.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
boy.
Absolutely, yeah. Gotta love him.
It can. Do I buy this? I don't know.
It's
not
hard.
necessarily.
But it's hard to, because even in the books, or even in Falcon and Winter Soldier, they don't approach him like they did Steve Rogers. And I get it. They're not the same person, but it's still, you feel like the man of Captain America is not respected. So,
well, they didn't think enough of him to go ahead and give him his first shot at it in a movie form. They did it in a TV show.
Right.
Yeah. They kind of shows what they thought of how that transition from Falcon into Captain America might not land. But
so
toss that shield, boy. Toss that shield.
After that, coming in July 26, 2024, we got the Thunderbolts.
And I'm so happy to hear about this because I love that show. And the puppets would do like
that's the Thunderbirds. I was thinking the same thing. That's that British show. Yeah.
Well, what the hell is that?
I don't know. I was going to ask the same thing. I first thought the same thing. I love those little puppet Thunderbird guys. But no, this is not that. Apparently,
man.
Eli, what Kirk, shed some light on what the hell's going on. What are the Thunderbolts? This is like
when they first came out in comics, it was a brand new group of superheroes, had their own distinct identities and everything else. It wasn't until later on in the series run that you actually find out that these are villains. These are established villains in new personas, and they're acting the hero part.
Yeah.
That's intriguing. I like that.
It's like
it was very intriguing. It was a very good book.
Yeah.
Very well written. You looked at characters a different way. And it wasn't like, I'm going to go off on an Eli tangent here. A couple of years, or decade or so ago, you had Dark Reign. It was when you had the Dark Avengers. It was when Norman Osborn became the Secretary of Defense for the United States. He put together his own group of Avengers because the Avengers were gone and whatever. And but it was all villains taking over as the characters. You had Wolverine's son as Wolverine.
Daken.
The Scorpion. Yeah, Daken. The Scorpion was Spider-Man, but he was in the Venom suit. And it was just things like that. But they played the hero part to an extent, but they were still bad guys. They did bad shit. These guys, the Thunderbolts, they did good stuff. They were heroes, but they had their own agenda behind it.
Yeah,
interesting.
And he's right. He's totally right. I mean, it's kind of like a Suicide Squad type of style. And in later years, they took the Thunderbolts and broke away from that with the villain thing, and then they took anti-heroes and made a team with them. So like you had I mean, it's a possibility because they didn't really throw out in this MCU thing like, oh, this is what we're gonna have. I mean, we can speculate a couple of things, but in the comics they had the Punisher, Ghost Rider, stuff like that. But figuring here,
Ghost Rider would be cool.
Yeah, it would be cool. So now you could
Punisher,
you could throw villains together, you could throw anti-heroes together. But I think in the MCU, I know there's rumors and stuff talking about it. Kirk,
Venom.
Well, no, it's probably going to be like some of the stuff we've been seeing in the Phase 4. That might be the one thing that's for it.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus' characters put together, gathering all those heroes.
Yeah,
John Walker and
stuff.
Yeah,
that's what the rumor is. That's what she's gathering her own team to make another team of Avengers or whatever, and that's going to be then the Thunderbolts.
Right, because Baron Zemo was in the original team.
Baron Zemo was that. I won't say the Spider-Man villain, the Beetle was, but he don't exist in the MCU.
Yeah, no, unless you watch the comics.
Yeah,
but you could have Yelena Belova.
Okay,
who else is there? So we get U.S. Agent,
right?
Possibility.
U.S. Agent. Yeah, Carly. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Bring Carly back.
who?
The redhead that was fighting in Captain America or Winter Soldier.
Oh, that weird chick.
Yeah, Falcon. Was,
Eli, who was that that villain? There was a woman in Spider-Man. Was it the first Spider-Man Homecoming? Ghost? Is that
Ghost was in
Ghost.
Ant-Man.
Yeah, that was Ant-Man.
That was
Ant-Man? Okay. I've heard she's gonna be on it.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. And really, in that second Ant-Man movie with her, like she was kind of like, I was like, oh, she cute, and then like I kind of like faded out what she could do. But yeah, they can do now. Okay, so that one title, I think that's the one title that has like some of the most open potential because you don't really need to have the same characters to take place in that. I don't know. I'm trying to think of an analogy for that where there's like it's just the Thunderbolts. You don't need to have the same heroes. So I don't know. Like say it was like the A-Team. You you could switch people out, but they all had to do the same type of goal. Or
well, they got a couple of years to figure it out who they're going to throw in for sure.
I'm the most curious about that one.
I was just excited to see the Fabulous Thunderbirds finally get their own show, but apparently I don't talk about that.
Not the Thunderbirds. That's right.
Yeah.
All right, so a couple of things real quick. Just fire on as would be something we didn't mention that wasn't part of the timeline, that graphic that they had was the Fantastic Four supposedly coming out November 8th, 2024.
Kind of curious.
I want to see what they do. They've never really gotten it right yet, so this is intriguing to me. I'm kind of curious to see how they fill out this cast.
Just don't do nothing crazy.
Right?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, just don't do nothing crazy. That's all you gotta do. Just don't do nothing crazy.
They're gonna do something crazy.
They're gonna do something crazy.
They're gonna do something crazy. So we not only got that, but they also kind of teased Phase 6. One of which is Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, supposedly in theaters on May 2nd, 2025. There you go. So we got two Avengers movies actually, and also in 2025 we got Avengers: Secret Wars.
Now that
coming in theaters
really stood out to me. So this is like supposed to be the ending of all this,
right?
The idea that these movies are only going to be what, a couple of months apart.
The two Avengers movies, yeah. So they're banking on kind of like Endgame and all that.
Yeah, it's like 6 months apart.
Infinity War and Endgame. Yeah,
like you don't even have to wait a year to see how this saga plays out. So when we lead up to this, we're going to go through the Kang Dynasty, which I guess we'll see Kang fight, and then Secret Wars right after that. So
yeah, they're right on top of each other.
Yeah, it's pretty much like you're not going to have to wonder too long. You're not going to have to live with the events of Infinity War, where everyone disappears for too long.
Yeah. Maybe that's what they learned from all that.
I guess.
Yeah.
Avengers: The Kang.
They're gonna just blow it all up with this one.
Yeah.
You get to this part and start all over.
So you're looking forward to that?
I'm curious to see where that goes.
I'm glad to see the Avengers title back again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's like 3 years now. I'm curious to know how they lead up to it. Yeah. I mean,
is it all these teenage superheroes?
Young Avengers? What kind of Avengers are we getting?
Shang-Chi? Is it Ironheart? Is it Moon Knight?
Is it Luke Cage?
Who's the Avengers now? It's basically Thor and a bunch of other people.
Iron Fist.
Thor and Spider-Man. And then the Guardians should be gone because they said this is the last iteration of the Guardians, so maybe we won't even get them.
Well, if you do if you do something like you said, this Kang Dynasty, that's something like Avengers Forever. You have a limited list of people you can throw in different costumes and whatever. There's a lot you could do with that.
They really need to do a better job of making Kang seem like a badass.
Oh yeah,
they have to
between then and now. Then because Kang is no Thanos,
not yet.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's a glove that makes Thanos. But the thing with Kang
it's the glove and the attitude. Last time we saw Kang, he was like some quirky, Mr. Monk.
Yeah, in Loki, yeah. But in the comics, this dude will blow you away.
Oh, I'm sure, right? Yeah, even though he looks like a goof.
Well, he looks crazy with the mask on, but again.
They got some stuff to overcome. They don't have a Thanos. They know they don't have a Thanos.
Yeah.
They need a Thanos.
They
want a Thanos.
They need to build this dude up to being a Thanos, which I'm not saying he couldn't be, because I think the dude's a phenomenal actor, and he had me engaged even when I was watching. I'm like, this is who Kang is? Oh, that's kind of interesting. It's a different take, but it's not exactly the serious, I'm going to destroy everything. So it's a different take.
Yeah. But, he doesn't command the room with just beating up the Hulk and stuff, but
he's not that Kang.
The
Kang that we saw in Loki.
The only thing that's dangerous about doing this level of movie with this type of villain is you now have to make sure everybody who's following the movie or following the series of movies are used to all of the different multiverse stuff, because that's the only way Kang is dangerous.
Yeah. And the only really my biggest thing with where's the X-Men in all this?
Oh, the
outside of
X-Men 97.
outside of X-Men 97, which and that's the other thing I was kind of curious about, because you and I talked about this a few times about how they're going to relabel it as the mutants. He kept saying that, and they still haven't committed to that yet. But then they come out and like, we're going to do X-Men 97. So clearly they don't have a problem with the name X-Men, because they're using it for X-Men 97. So what are the mutants? Is it really the X-Men, or
they're not Inhumans?
No, not humans.
Don't know. Is it like a prequel to what? I don't know how. It seems like we've told every possible X-Men story we can get to. Let's just get to some X-Men.
Yeah, let's do some onslaught. There you go.
The question is, is in any realm of this, do the X-Men show up?
The Secret Wars movie is the last one of Phase 6. They have I want to say 8 slots. Like say eight time periods that were announced in that year, what a time in Phase 5 and 6 was Phase 6 that haven't been filled yet. But it doesn't seem to be enough time to bring the X-Men in to explain who they are and get us,
I would agree.
Are they saving them for Phase 7? The next phase? I don't know.
It could be, and maybe they'll do it like Miss Marvel and just toss it in there just to be.
Yeah, why it says she's a mutant when you're gonna wait that long to introduce the X-Men? It doesn't make sense. So maybe they are and go be somewhere in there.
Well, I think the problem with it is that they always for whatever reason they have this thing they got to do where it's like we bring in a hero, but once they get 4 to 5 movies, we got to kill them off, and now that hero is burnt out, and we can't use it. The problem is that Captain America, Iron Man, all of them feature prominently in Secret Wars. Mm-hmm. All of them feature prominently in you don't just kill off. Yes, do you kill off superheroes in the comic books? Yes, when their sales slump. You don't just wait 3 or 4 movies and the actors are like, yeah, I need to go on and I need to do this and I need to. That's the problem, is as they're using these heroes, they're also burning them up. Right. And they're running out of them. And the only other thing they can do is, and who knows, maybe they do it multiverse, is that now here are younger versions of these heroes.
It has
on
to be
cheaper contracts because you are running out.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not that many left. I would be surprised if Deadpool doesn't factor in at the end game of this all.
I hope so.
I would think that they would need to include him in some kind of a way, but I guess we'll see.
Only time will tell.
That's all we can do.
That's the whole name of the game, right? Only time will tell, right?
Yeah.
So, y'all, Internet, thank you for joining us for this particular live session discussing all the San Diego Comic-Con stuff. Make sure you share your opinions on anything we've talked about. Shoot us an email, show@magicover.com. Or make sure you listen to our podcast. Subscribe to us. Subscribe to this channel. There's other ways to get in touch with us as well. So, guys, thank you very much.
Peace.
Pleasure.